rhymes in the weekly jam rag. We are Sex Kitchen, not Sex Kitten. On guitar, Tom Mann. On bass, Billy Davey. On drums, Tom Fortune. I'm Mia.
Sing about the devil!
Joey.
This is Jimmy Jive, and you're listening to Motor City Rock Talk. Today, my guest was a part of the Detroit music scene for pretty much 30 years, if not maybe a little longer. Been in several bands, starting back in as early as the late 70s with a band called Slammer, Passion, Concrete Rattle, 13th Floor, Sex Kitchen, The Unheard. We're going to kind of go over most of those bands. Hey, Bill, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Jimmy?
I'm doing good. All right, man, let's start with a little background. Basically, tell me where you were from originally in Michigan or the area, and what drew you to playing music, especially as far as playing the bass.
I'm from Fraser, Michigan. I just was always drawn to the bass. I used to go into Grinnell's at the mall, Cone Mall, and they had a music store in there. For some reason, it was always that bass section. Of course, I'd pick one up and get kicked out, whatever not. You
Right.
put that down. I was probably 11 or 12. I just loved them. I just love the bass. I love the way you feel it. Just felt good in my hand.
What were some of your influences back then as far as bands coming up? You don't have to say specific bass players necessarily, but types of music or bands that, really got you worked up.
Kiss, you start with, Gene Simmons. I mean, my God, Zeppelin, Aerosmith, things like that. Great bass players. They drove that sound.
Let's get into some of these bands. You started playing out in the club scene in, like I say, around 1978 with Slammer. How did that start?
We were just kids. These were neighborhood musicians.
Okay.
That my first band, that was myself, Ed Stage, Dave Stroud, and Gary Lesnow. Gary being the vocalist, Ed guitar player, and of course me on bass, and Dave Stroud drummer.
Were you guys doing all covers at that time, or did you have any originals?
We did originals. I mean, we were doing probably 80% covers at that time because we were learning how to write.
Sure.
I was only probably 15 years old. We were doing a lot of hall parties.
At 15, you were playing hall parties.
Oh yeah. I recorded.
Awesome.
I recorded my first. I was my first recording studio with those guys. Recorded at Elephant Recording Studio in East Detroit. I believe that was on 9 Mile and Gratiot, and we made a 45 vinyl.
Did you get on the radio anywhere with that, or local radio or college?
No, we didn't get any airplay with that. Not at that stage.
That band was together till what, around 1982, is it?
We were together for a couple years between like 78 and 82.
Okay.
But then it dispersed, but a couple of us stayed together and we met a couple other guys from a different school. We're still in high school. A guitar player, actually 2 guitar players from Clintondale High School, which is Clinton Township. Brad Pike and Tim Hecox. They were both from a different school, and these were rival schools. Bad vibes between the two.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, real bad. I mean, people were dying. It was that bad. So yeah, it was a little different, you know what I mean, to start this. We got together, and Gary, Tim, Brad Pike, and Dave Stroud, and myself. It just fell right into place, and we were probably doing 50-50. We were doing all the modern metal, Judas Priest, Scorpions, whatever was happening at that time, AC/DC.
Were you out in the bars at all, or were you still playing hall parties?
We were playing the bars. We were doing bars still in high school, Falcon Lounge, places like that, the Brickyard. Yeah, that was my first bar experience, was with that, but we were still doing the hall parties. We did a statewide talent contest Barry Gordy put on at the state fairgrounds.
How'd that go?
We won. We won a 5-foot tall trophy and some recording time. And I think we won a little bit at the disc. I think we won some money too.
Do you remember who some of the competition was that you would have beat out?
Yeah, we shared a trailer with Muggsy. They were a hard-hitting band back then. We didn't know any of them. We were just kids.
Anything crazy with that band? Anything ever go down other than win that contest? I mean, that's pretty cool.
Antics. I mean, everybody's just having a blast. We were so young. We thought we're going to be damn rock stars.
Yeah.
I mean, we just won this. We met Barry Gordy, shook his hand. I got business cards. I come out of the backstage dressing rooms, back out, meet my friends that are out in the crowd. Each of us walked away with like 15 RCA, Enigma, all these record labels met us at the gate coming out.
Wow.
Handing us cards. Each of us probably had 15 of them, but we're so young, we never did anything with them.
So what happened with that band?
One of the members had a substance problem, stole something from one of the members of the band. That was it.
The next band on our list is Passion. That must have really stuck out with the ladies. They must have loved that.
It did. It worked really well at first until we tried to get a copyright on it, and there was a band out of New York that already had that name. So we had to go and change the name. We changed it to Dee Dee's Conviction, lead singer's name being Darren Dunn. It fit. So that's his initials, Dee Dee's Conviction. We just stuck with it. That was probably one of the funnest bands I have ever been in. The antics were just over the top. Singer used to bust a radio on the stage with a baseball bat. We had a song he wrote the lyrics to. He was really anti-radio. This was not been radio friendly by any means. Not that it was even meant to be. Right. It was called The Radio Sucks.
Even then.
So we would do this, and it got like a cult following. We'd play Blondies. It got to the point where people were bringing radios to our shows for him to break.
Like transistor radios or actual bigger
jam boxes.
Oh, they must have loved that at Blondies. All that shit all over the stage.
And he would just beat the shit out of it till Blondies, that went over great.
But did he have a sledgehammer or something? What was he?
Baseball bat.
Oh, baseball bat. That's going to be hard to top. That's going to be hard to miss. Were you guys at that time then, this kind of notoriety, were you headlining most of these gigs, or were you opening for bands or vice versa?
No, that band, we did a few headliners. That was the first band I ever had a chance to open up for Seduce with. And that was like a big thing. Those guys, you knew you were going to play in front of a packed crowd.
So that band went on for a number of years, like 3 or 4 years, was it?
Yeah, and the singer moved out to Los Angeles. That band split up. Now we get into the Concrete Rattle story.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy by the name of Mark. Anyway, I have only met him. Well, I met him on a couple of occasions. He came to a couple of our shows. When Dee Dee's Conviction broke up, I ran into him again at the Ritz in Roseville. We talked, and he was asking me, where are you guys playing next? I had to dissolve. Singer moved out to L.A., and I'm looking to start something new. Well, so was he. And he said he had a guitar player. It was his guitar teacher that worked at Pontiac Music, I do believe. He was teaching there. That was JT. He knew a singer. Mark and I were on the phone together a lot.
Did you say was he a guitar player?
He was, but he never ended up going any further than the very first get together. Okay. And it was at his house, his parents' house. And I drove out there with my girlfriend at the time and met JT and Jimmy. We were like doing some writing right there in that house. Was
Pete in the band also at that time? Had he joined the band?
No, Pete was later. Left that day. Felt good about it. Driving home, and I get home, and I got a message from, I believe, Jimmy. He said, we want to get together at JT's dad's business. Can rehearse in the basement of the office. That's what we did. And okay, I got directions there. I showed up, and Pete was there. Right. Now, I don't remember who got a hold of Pete or who knew Pete. I can't remember that detail. But anyway, it was the four of us. And we were just playing covers, Aerosmith, Cult, that kind of thing, just to get a feel with everybody. And we probably rehearsed for about a week. And we talked about a second guitar player. And I believe Pete knew Rob, because didn't Pete also play in Mad Hatter?
Yes, he did.
Next time we rehearsed, Rob was there.
Now, when you say you rehearsed for about a week, what does that mean? Were you rehearsing every day?
3 nights a week, yeah.
So you didn't have a job?
I always had a full-time job.
That's a lot of rehearsal. I know it takes at least that much if you're serious about it. So you come back, and now Rob shows up. Was there anything as far as like at that time, what direction everybody kind of wanted to go in the sense of like, this was in, the late 80s, real early 90s, grunge was starting. Was that the direction, or was it still kind of like the hair metal thing?
We were more or less just a rock band.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't really metal. We didn't do any metal. We were, like I said, Aerosmith, Cult, that kind of thing. Jimmy was always kind of pushing towards alternative. What was that at that time? You know what I mean? It was up and coming, for that style. What'd you really have? Maybe Pearl Jam, Cult, that kind of thing. So anyway, started doing covers, and we were throwing in, JT had a couple of songs written. We learned them, and we put our own twist to it. We liked, it sounded good. And Jimmy fit right in with it. And he was kind of like, didn't know where he wanted his voice. Right. He was in a cover band that they did 3 sets a night for, 5 days a week, covers. Yeah. And he could sing high, low. Yeah. He was all over the map. He really didn't know what style to be, but we knew the guy could sing. I think it was Rob or somebody made a suggestion, stick with the low end. And he did. And it worked.
So what kind of shows were you guys playing there? Was Concrete Rattle at that time, were you headlining shows? Were you playing with national acts? How was that going?
We were rehearsing at, like I said, JT's dad's business in the basement. We needed a house. We knew that. I believe Rob got us the house in Westland. He knew a girl that lived there. Her name was Chris. It was a 3-bedroom brick ranch with a full basement.
So who all was living at the band house?
Jimmy, myself, JT, and Chris.
So Pete wasn't, and either was Rob.
No, Rob was married.
Yeah.
He lived in Kent, and Pete lived in Garden City. So they were all close. You got to remember, Jimmy was in Pontiac, JT's living in Troy, and I'm in Fraser.
What a wide gap. Yeah, you damn well need to come together in a house somewhere close.
Right. Well, that wasn't the main. The thing was, this is how Jimmy got the name Hoffa. Have you ever heard that story?
Refresh my memory.
We could never find him.
Yeah, I remember that.
So Rob named him Hoffa, being that his name is Jimmy. And we forced him. I mean, he was married. I mean, we didn't force him, but basically an ultimatum, you know. He didn't have a car, married, but, you know, if you're going to be in the band, you're going to have to move into the house. JT made it quite clear. Anybody that's playing here is either going to live here or right around here, or you're going to move into this house. Well, Jimmy made the choice, and he moved in. And we rehearsed every single day. We lived it. We were a writing machine. I recorded an EP, the first one, and the second one was a full LP. I believe it was entitled, I could be wrong here, don't quote me on this, but Mystic Blue Funk?
Did that ever come out in any way? I don't remember hearing anything.
I don't know. I've gotten a hold of JT, and he says he's got it in storage in Michigan in his catalog.
Oh, you don't have it?
I had it at one time, but I've moved so many times since then. How stuff just gets lost.
Of course, that would be really cool to hear that, because that would have been the next step, the next transition. So how long were you guys together in that form of the band? In other words, the 5 of you. How long did that last?
It wasn't a full year. I would say anywhere from 9 to 11 months. You know, Jimmy was battling between, you know, he's married, got his kids born now, and living that life. I remember hearing that, a lot of that. He and I were pretty tight. We did everything together.
And he was pretty young. That had to be hard to do that, like you said, being married, then having a kid on top of it.
He was 28. When the band started, he was 28. I was 23. JT was 23. Pete, maybe a couple years older than that.
Right.
And Rob was Rob, you know, he was a little older than we were. But, you know, he knew the business. I learned so much from that guy. That was like going to rock college.
Rob leaves the band first, apparently, if I'm correct.
I left first.
Oh, you left first?
Yes. And I got a phone call probably 2 months after I left, and it was Rob. And he says, well, he fired me. I couldn't believe it. My jaw hit the ground. I thought right there, this is falling apart. You just fired the brain trust of that band.
So you leaving the band first, who did they get to replace you? Do you remember? Do you know? Or?
Some guy named Dave. I don't remember what his last name was.
Okay.
It wasn't Dave Black, like he said in the interview. It was something else.
He corrected himself, but I don't think he remembered either. Because by that time, the band was just about over, from what I understand. Rob had told me once you were gone, he didn't care that they let him go because it was over. Rob says to me, because they could let me go, but how they could let Bill go when he was such a solid, intricate part of the band. And you're talking about core to the rhythm section and a damn good bass player. But he said he was shocked about that. He wasn't shocked that they fired him because apparently him and JT had some kind of musical differences, let's say. JT wanted this way and Rob wanted this way, and that's pretty much how it ended.
That could be possible. I mean, that band had a lot of tension in the writing department, but sometimes that makes for great writing. You can figure how to keep it together. Well, that was getting tough. Then you got Jimmy's going up and down. You never knew which way he was going. He was going on the road. He's going to put his old band back together. I was going back to my wife. I kept hearing that kind of. So I'm feeling, you know, this is unstable, right?
Yeah.
I moved my life across town. I'm driving an hour and a half each way to work, doing band practice 5-6 nights a week. You know, it was a lot of work.
How long after Concrete Rattle did you get into your next band? Was it almost immediate, or did you take a little time to
that
get out?
probably took about 9 months to find. I had to find that singer. And I wasn't going to settle just for just Joe Average. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had about 6 songs completely written, the music, some of the lyrics and the choruses. I had a buddy of mine. He said, you got to come check out my buddy Nick's band play. This singer is fabulous. And he's super young. Okay, right? Cover band. I went went and saw him. I couldn't believe it. My jaw hit the ground. This kid could sing like a bird.
Wow.
I mean, where did he come from, right? Why is he playing in a cover band? He was too good for that. So he had this whole cover band going, and I got talking with him. His name was Dave Nunley. He was from Birmingham. He was only like 21 years old. He looked like Ozzy. I got talking with him, and they needed a bass player. The bass player was leaving. How fate has it. I said, oh, no kidding. I'm not doing nothing. Right now I'm looking for members. I got some songs written, blah, blah, blah. Well, why don't you bring a bass over and come on by? We got a bass amp. I said, all right. So I went over to where they rehearse, kicked out a couple tunes with them, cover tunes. I just said, why aren't you guys writing? Well, I don't know. We just, haven't.
Has they been together long? Is that, or were they new or what?
I don't even know. This is how fast it all happened.
Oh, I see.
And this is in real time. First time I was there, and I started playing a few of these tunes I wrote. And singer caught right onto it. He's just ad-libbing, making his own melody lines, and
That's
he
awesome.
fell right into it. And he sounded great. And the guitar player had a little weird, it was a different type of style that he was used to. So it took him a minute. The one guitar player actually backed out right then and there.
It wasn't his cup of tea, what you were trying to play down or
He was
something?
married, had kids or something, a family man kind of thing. And I got what I was after. I'm after
Right.
the singer. And the guitar player, Tom, he just kind of came with it. He was good. He had a Tony Iommi style about him, which I could deal with that.
Was this like a metal band at this point, or was this still
Yeah,
like rock?
this is a metal band. Yeah,
Okay.
we're tuning down a full step. It's got that thick, meaty low end about it. I did 2 full-length CDs with that band. Probably wrote 80% of everything. They moved out to Los Angeles. I didn't go, but I sat in with them. I probably played with them for a year. No, 6 months. Like 6 or 7 months. I went in the studio, recorded a full-length LP with them. John wrote all the music, and he sang, the lead guitar player. They were coming out to L.A. It was agreed upon. I told them I'm not moving out to LA, that I was looking to do my own thing.
Sure.
So they went out. John still lives out here in LA. I don't, know where, but he's been out here a long time.
Did the record album or whatever, did it get released? Did it do anything?
Oh yeah, I heard the finished product. I mean, I had
you
a
have
copy of
that
it.
now?
I don't have anything. My catalog is, my ex-wife's probably got everything. I'll get it all one day.
Your next excursion is then, I take it, Sex Kitchen, is that correct?
Yeah, we were together for 10 years. I was with them for 10 years. We got a female vocalist.
Now, how did you get her, and what made you guys think to get an African-American woman to front this kind of band?
Mia, who I talk to all the time, been tight forever. We put an ad out in the Jam Rag magazine for a vocalist wanted. We're an established band. I mean, we've been playing out, the shows all over town for years.
As Sex Kitchen?
We were already called that. It really fit when she came. She answered the ad. We knew it was a female. She invited us up to where she worked, Cover Girls, and that's where we met her. And we didn't know who she was. She said she knew who we were. She could tell, when we walked in, here's 3 long hairs,
Right.
sitting at a table. Came over and introduced herself. My eyes lit up. I was just like, wow, this woman, she moves like a cat if she can only sing, right? And
Right.
yes, she can.
The thing that was real interesting about that video you sent me, first of all, where was that at?
That is at the IROC.
Was how you guys were getting ready to play, and she's kind of on the stage there, slinking around a little bit, and the crowd is making some noise. And then she comes up to the mic and says, "We are not Sex Kitten, we're Sex Kitchen." Was that something that was thrown around because you had a female front in the band? Was that?
That started generating. Yeah, we were hearing that a lot all of a sudden. I don't know if they were just, making joke of it or whatever, but she just wanted to set that straight right then and there.
I guess the reason I'm asking that is, who came up with the name Sex Kitchen? And was there any significance to it, or did you just pick 2 words out of a hat? How'd you come with? That's kind of an unusual name, let's just say.
Well, I think we were looking for an unusual name, something maybe a little shocking, or you had to actually think about it, whether you liked it or not.
Right.
So let's face it, sex is great, and
Yeah.
so is food. So,
Right.
Sex Kitchen, right?
Did you guys ever, once she got in the band and fronted it, and she's that type of singer, and like you said, move like a cat, to change it to Sex Kitten? Or was that not thought of because there too much emphasis was then put on her? Or was that ever even thought of?
It wasn't even thought about. Yeah, I think we mentioned it, and she's like, she didn't like it. She goes, that now you're making it sexist, which it was, though. There's no denying
There's
that.
no avoiding it. Not when you're playing like that and you're moving around like that, you know.
Right.
It was a very cool visual thing. I don't want to say strange combination, but different. 3 white guys with long hair and a black woman running a hard rock band. I never heard of that before.
Nobody ever saw it.
Yeah.
I never saw it. Thought it was great.
It is great. But I'm just saying, it's like, did you ever say anything about her friends thinking it was odd, her being in a band like that? I mean, did she come from a background of singing rock?
No, right? I thought the same thing. She's a rock singer. She always was.
Had she been in any groups?
That was her first rock band. She's been trying to find one, and she couldn't, or nobody gave her a chance.
Right.
I'm not really sure how that all worked. In fact, I'll ask her after we're done. But yeah, she said that was her first rock band experience.
On the list here, go to the bands that you've been in. That seems, tell me if I'm correct, that band seemed to last the longest out of all the others. Is that correct?
Yes.
So how far did it go? I mean, as far as like, was that band playing with national acts? Was that playing and headlining? And where?
Oh, God. We opened up for 13 national acts in one summer at Harpo's.
Oh, Harpo's. So you're playing the big stage, the big gigs.
Yeah. Cinderella was our first. That was great. It was just us and them. And they were great. Those guys are some of the nicest people you ever met. Yeah, they were very cool.
Did you guys end up doing any playing for these national acts, like you said? Did you do any touring? Did you go out tour outside of Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, or anything like that?
No, we pretty much kept it in Michigan. That band didn't do a lot of out of state at all. I mean,
Okay.
you know, we would go to Kalamazoo and things like that. I always wanted to do that, go to Cleveland, you know, and it was just hard to get everybody on page to go about doing that.
Now, I know from that, like I say, that video you sent me, there was an original on there, and then a cover song of Soundgarden. Did you guys actually record anything as far as an album, an EP, or anything like that?
I recorded 2 full-length CDs with that band.
And what happened with those?
Mia, we were in pre-production with her, and that's when she got backed into a corner. Here we go again with the drummer. Same thing. Her father was passing away. She got wind of it. We played at Freedom Hill in 1995 at the Summer Slam show they did. We got on that at the last minute. 2 days before this show, I met the promoter, and he just added us to the bill. He goes, "How about if I put you on last?" I was, "We'll do it." And we played in front of probably 5,000 people.
Oh, yeah. Was that all local acts playing that then? You guys just...
Yeah, they were all local. The thing is, it was a metal fest type thing.
Right.
I mean, these were hardcore thrash metal, and we were not that. We were more the veins of Black Sabbath, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, with a female, and it went over huge. After hearing all metal bands all day long, we were a breath of fresh air.
So what happened with the recordings then? I mean, you said he backed her in the corner.
Here we go with the drummer again, Todd. Her father fell ill. He lived in Chicago. She left that show that night at Freedom Hill. She got a phone call after we were done, and she had to get to Chicago. This was on a Sunday, and we had a show coming up. 2 of them. I believe they were in Hamtramck. I don't remember the exact places where they were, whatever. He wouldn't let her out of it. Could not do it, and he did it again, and she quit.
Sounds to me like you guys should have got rid of the drummer.
Should have done that a couple of times. You know, I really should have. Yeah, he was creating a lot of problems.
You guys may have been on the cusp of something, you know, that could have maybe broke nationally.
Been on the horn with Mia now for about 3 months. She sent me a bunch of music she's got, and I love the direction she's going in. It sounded like Linkin Park with her voice, but a different style than Sex Kitchen. I mean, better. I mean, I was really excited about it. Still am, and she wants me to sit down with her and write some music. So, hey, why not, right?
So she's still in Michigan then?
Yes.
Are you in contact with anybody else from the band anymore?
Not really.
How did that end up breaking up? Was it when the drummer forced her out? Was that it? Or did you guys try and get another singer? Or?
Well, I got on the phone and I called the original singer, Dave. Finally answered my phone call. We talked about everything, you know, and he agreed to come back under condition. I should have got rid of the drummer. I really should have. I mean, I'm just going to say it, you know, he was creating a lot of problems. He was a control freak. You know, he didn't, you know, let anybody else know. He just runs with stuff. And
he's the one doing all the booking? Is that why?
We all were. I got all the big shows, the Harpo's, Freedom Hill. I think the Ritz was still happening, barely.
Play the Token Lounge? Was that one of the places you would have?
Oh yeah. We did a bus tour We rented a big bus, party bus,
Yeah.
and we brought 100 people to the Token for
Cool.
a show we did. It was a great time. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And it gets them to and from the show, and drinks on the bus and everything. We're serving our fans. Yeah, they loved it. There had to be 250 people at the Token Lounge. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot. That's a good crowd. Heck yeah. So anyway, after that, I guess the next one on the list is the Unheard. How did that come about, or where did that start?
That started in 2007, playing with some other guys. I'm not going to bring that up. That's scandalous. I don't even want to talk about that. But I got a phone call from Gino Canali. He was in the Unheard. He was in that band don't want to mention, but he called me up and he says, look, I got this really cool band, a bunch of younger guys, but they're good. Would you be interested? And I was going through a divorce at the time. I kind of turned it down at first because I told him, I was going through a bunch.
Right.
Wally and Gino came over to my house. I wasn't answering my phone or I wasn't home, whatever it was. They just showed up at my house. I talked to him. I said, look, you know what? I'll come over and check it out. How's that? Okay, we got a bass amp. Don't have to bring that. Just bring your bass. So I went out to New Baltimore, basically auditioned for him. I knew Wally. I knew Gino, but the other guys, Steve and Kenny, I had never met. Kenny's girlfriend's house. Kenny plays in Rockstar. He's the lead singer.
That's that cover band that does all the 80s stuff.
So I went over there and auditioned for them, went back home. I didn't hear anything for a minute. Maybe I was out busy doing whatever I do, working and whatever not. Gino stopped at my house again. Where are you? How come you're not answering your phone? And I was like, well, you've been calling? And he's like, yeah. He goes, we want you. And I'm like, all right, well, let's do this. I went over there and rehearsed with them every day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, to learn these songs because their first show was at Freedom Hill for Harley Fest. And they had a whole itinerary. That band went on a mini tour. It was great. We had a bus and the whole thing. I mean, we were playing Skidway Lake, Stars and Stripes opened up for Skid Row and Sponge at Mount Clemens for 4th of July. That was a lot of fun.
I guess the $60,000 question here, as far as all of these bands, let's just say, we'll sum it up a little bit. Did you ever make any real money?
Hell no. I wasn't. Well, yeah, you know what? The Unheard paid me well.
I mean, make good money like, you became a millionaire, but so many bands in this town that were around forever, beating the circuit, the whole thing, never made much of nothing. Because it was just, especially if you were opening for a national act, because they used to pull that whole, you should be honored to open up for Cinderella at Harpo's. You did make some money out of it, at least.
I did with the Nationals at Harpo's once we figured out how to go about doing it, and they would make you buy tickets. And we would pay them up front. I don't remember, $500-$600, and the tickets were like anywhere from $15 to $20 a piece.
Right.
But they only wanted this much. You know what I mean? They told you, okay, for every ticket you get to keep X amount of money. Well, I figured out how to do it. These are sold out shows, so I'm already there, right, for sound check. I would just stay, and I would go outside and put my hair all up in a hat so that the stage manager didn't see me, and go out and sell all my tickets in the line for a discount. I mean, I have already got a discount, so I'm getting my money back plus some. So that worked out great. I sold out. I probably sold 100 tickets in 10 minutes. I had discount tickets, man. It was great. I got caught eventually. 13 nationals that summer. Yeah, I got caught. But that's all right.
You got to do what you got to do, though. I mean, man,
I was hustling, man.
Yeah, you got to hustle. That's part of the business. That whole system by that time I said, screw this. These bars are making so much money in alcohol, and then they're going to make you basically pay to play. You're the reason that people are in there buying the alcohol. You're drawing the women in, they're drawing the guys in that are buying the alcohol, but you still got to pay them a percentage to be a part of this. I just never got that concept.
Yeah, I mean, it was a real crock of shit.
I always thought, well, that's just Detroit. But I'd heard it was happening out in L.A. also. With a lot
I think
of
that's where
bands.
It started, out in Hollywood.
Which is like, wow, that's insane. So you left the business pretty much after that. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm a single dad now, 3 kids. My kids were pretty young. My oldest was 12, and they're all 2 years apart. The Unheard, I got wind that Kenny Lewandowski was going to leave and start, which he did, Rockstar. Well, I got a decision to make, right? I'm a single dad with 3 kids, and if I get doing this some more, I know how that works. It'll be every weekend I'll be playing out, and I only see my kids every other weekend. I decided to to walk away. My kids needed me more. And I was 45 years old, you know what I
Right.
mean? I gave it a hell of a run, you
Yeah,
know?
30 years, like you said, is a long run. The length of most of these bands was at least average. Why did you move to California?
Kids were all grown, you know, they're all out of college and doing their thing. And I love California. I do. I live in Temecula. I'm probably 30 miles from the coast. I didn't put it out here until the day or two before I left. I didn't put it on Facebook or social media that I was moving.
No, I'm not
And,
very familiar with the California landscape. Where are you in relationship to LA, let's just say?
I'm 100 miles from Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I'm only about 60 miles from San Diego.
You're Southern California. We're Southern California then. Are you in any way involved in music anymore out there? Do you sit in with any bands, or is that completely done?
Yeah, they're all over the place. I
Right.
live probably 2 miles from School of Rock.
You're still playing a bit. You're still, yanking that bass.
Yeah, there's people. I probably will be getting into something here soon. I kind of getting pushed into it. I think I like it.
Push
You know,
into it, or you get the itch to play again.
I have the itch.
There you
I
go.
do.
Never goes
I need
away,
to
man.
scratch that itch. No,
Yeah.
it never does. I mean, I still play every day. I've been to that School of Rock a few times. And you talk to these young kids, these young musicians, and their biggest problem is rehearsal
Yeah.
space. The storage units around here won't let you do it. They don't allow them to use those for that purpose because the homeless problem, which we
yeah.
really don't have here in Temecula.
Mhm.
You don't see that. I mean, if it's here, I don't see it. And I just thought this is going to be a great idea. There was I think Rob even might have started it. It was called the Club of Faith.
You had mentioned you're like, 30 miles from the coast or something. Is that right? Do they ever do anything as far as this? Do you ever have concerts on the beach? Anything like that out there? Is that allowed?
They do. They don't really do them on the beach, but they have like amphitheaters, outdoor theaters right there on the coast. I saw the Cult in Orange County a couple years ago outside, right there. I mean, the beach is right across the street. A lot of outdoor concerts here, but you don't see them on the beach. The nice thing is they do it all year round. The weather, you can't beat it.
Well, Bill, I'm going to let you go. I really appreciate you reminiscing with me here tonight over your long career.
All right, man.
You
Thank
have a good night. You take care.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Jimmy.
That was Bill Davey, who, as you heard from the interview, had a long career in Detroit, the Detroit rock music scene, starting out in 1978 with Slammer, then going into Wicked Wish, Passion, Concrete Rattle, Sex Kitchen that ran out for a 10-year stint, which is amazing in this town, and The Undead. That's quite a list of bands. They all had some success. Unfortunately, it appears none of them got signed, but we all know how that goes down. Is that old stereo of yours giving you the blues? Maybe the receiver has a blown channel, or the turntable just doesn't work right. Well, you should visit my friends at 7 Grand Audio Service. They've been in business for over 40 years. Located at 25642 7 Mile Road in North Redford, the owner Dash and his assistant Harry can fix just about anything. Receivers, tape decks, turntables, EQs, power amps, and yes, guitar and bass amp. The phone number over there is 313-533-3635. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 6. If you have any stereo issues of any kind, vintage or otherwise, you need to check them out. And tell them Jimmy sent you. Anyway, in closing, as I always like to say, keep rocking.